Shop at Majestic Supermarket for kind and courteous service. In addition to your grocery list, we also stock perfume and gift sets, household items, over-the-counter drugs, pet food and accessories, footwear, mini hardware items and much more. It's a one-stop shop. We accept TT cards, links and credit card. Visit us at the corner of Little Koma Road and Komodo Main Road, Komodo. Telephone contact 643-94104, Majestic Supermarket.
Welcome to our program, Journey of the Soul Towards a Structured World, Spiritually. The most important aspect of this program is the spiritual aspect. We are quite aware that we are spiritual beings residing in our bodies and playing a part through our bodies. That is not a small thing. To be in your body, to act, to be able to do the things you desire to do and the things of course that you have to do, we must have a certain amount of insight and initiative. There is a very old saying, all you need to live is 3 square feet of land. That statement is a very ancient statement, but it does not literally mean 3 square feet of land. It is a statement based on the level of contentment that you have. So today we are going to talk around the topic of being content. First of all, who has to be content? The body or the soul? It is the soul that has to be content. When you overeat, what happens? All kinds of things go wrong in your stomach. But when you reach that point, the body has signals, no matter how tasty the food is. You get that feeling of that's enough. But when you override that feeling, so many things happen. You overload your system with digestion and all the things that we are quite aware of, discomfort. So it's important to recognize that in all the things we do in the journey of our lives, we are on a journey, respected friends. When you keep that awareness, emerge, not merge. Not when you sit down to pray and whatever silent time you have, you begin to think, okay, I am on a journey, and no. That is for learners. Practically everyone now has pretty good awareness of what is happening around. I am talking about your life personally, your family life, the life in the country you live, and worldwide via the international news channel. So, when we can recognize that there is a limited time we have to spend in our bodies, with the foundation that we are eternal beings. Eternal means you don't die. The vehicle, which is a time when it expires, so to speak. Unfortunately, sometimes expiration is due to illness, accidents or whatever, and very rare at this time now in world history, in the drama stage now. You see people just quietly at a ripe old age, they sit down and they die peacefully. That is how we are supposed to live. But to be able to live in that manner, we have to put the things in place, especially the art or the virtue, so to speak, of being contented. Contentment does not mean you don't have objectives, you don't have goals, you don't have extra responsibilities that you desire to fulfill. But of course, we must recognize our age, our gender, our abilities, the strength of our body, the kind of pure thoughts that we have. Purity is important in the matter of having a peaceful journey of the soul. The body is not on the journey, the body is the vehicle. We must kind of get hold of that. We must grasp that, respected friends. Our bodies are the instrument for the soul, the child of God, that unseen being, to play its part. And we should be the master of our faculties. Many times I have mentioned this, but it is worth time and again a reminder. Body has 5 senses. The user of the body manages or should manage the 5 senses. This user, in order for it to be fully functional and to have good karmas, good vision, good attitude, there has to be a little bit of reflection time. We should not think that we are reflecting when we are asleep. No. Sleep is important. Sleep should be peaceful, and that's it. It's a time of rest and rejuvenation, so to speak. But when we are awake and we are performing our duties, there has to be the underlying foundation. Foundation is important of who am I? And that foundation is not just a foundation. There are 3 important aspects of the soul. Recognize that our mind is constantly working. It is understood that we slow down whilst we are asleep. However, once we are carrying on with our routines or whatever things we have to do, the mind is constantly generating thoughts. And of course, everyone is an expert in this. If you are thinking too much, you will talk too much. If you are thinking unnecessary thoughts, dear friends, you are going to speak unnecessary words. The mind has to be understood and managed. So that one faculty is something that many saints, the mind is peaceful, the mind is mischievous. Yes, it is. We have to know how to be able to control our minds. Not like this, no. The mind is not something physical. The mind is extremely subtle, not just subtle, extremely subtle. So in order to be able to manage our mind, we have another faculty. In Hindi it is called buddhi. Many people use that language. The intellect is that part of us, is that insightful part of us that should consciously determine the journey of our lives. Not whatever happens is fine and no. Time is not telling us that story at this point in time, so to speak. The intellect is the one, or that part of the soul, that analyzes. The intellect can be called a knower of the three aspects of time, because when a thought arises, the intellect, before it makes a decision to adopt and carry out that thought, it has the ability to look at past, to look at present, and also to project the possible outcomes of that thought, especially attitude and words, because the product of thought is attitude and words and actions. And if we don't pay attention to that, regardless of whatever status you have, you can be the president of the whole world. Yes, that doesn't matter. What matters, of course, please don't misunderstand what I am saying. What matters more than anything else is your self-managing leadership abilities. The self, you can say, is an acronym for the soul. S, subtle, energy, life, force. That is what the soul is. It is subtle, it's energy itself, it is life itself, and we have a lot of force. Yes. And that force has to be managed by the intellect. So always, time and again, get familiar with yourself. Subtle energy, life force, become familiar with your makeup. When you become the Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University, of which I am a student for many moons now, we used to run this course regularly in this country, Trinidad, make your mind your best friend. But who makes the mind your best friend? The one who decides and manages the mind, that is your intellect. Every human being possesses that. Sometimes we have to study, we have to learn, and this program is a combination of both, and of course nudging and encouraging you. Don't just live, or you will expire just like that, and then it doesn't stop there. You will be relegated to the sum total of your accumulated karmas. That is common sense. If you complicate it, you are the complicated ones. Don't complicate simple things. So mind, production line of thoughts, intellect says, ho ho ho, hold it there. Decide on this one, not too many waste thoughts. If you have waste thoughts, it will result in wasteful attitude, wasteful words, wasteful behavior, because the intellect has adopted that. The point I am making here, today's topic is contentment. When we are content that our intellect, that faculty within us, dear friends, is working properly, then you will not break the speed limit with your mind. What happens when you break the speed limit? Police is going to charge you. You will make accidents. You will disrespect others. And our good old friend, whom we should dispatch totally, stress, is going to bite you. Conscience is going to affect your body. Go to any simple, ordinary doctor, a regular practitioner, and tell him to give you 5 minutes on stress, the effects of stress. These things were not here all the time. No, 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 no. Time and understanding has to be employed. The world is not, or has not always been as it is now. It can be considered or understood with the pace of things now that the world is in transition. And of course, the residents of the world are also in transition. Give this some thought as we take a short break.
Shop at Majestic Supermarket for kind and courteous service. In addition to your grocery list, we also stock perfume and gift sets, household items, over-the-counter drugs, pet food and accessories, footwear, mini hardware items, and much more. It's a one-stop shop. We accept TT cards, links, and credit card. Visit us at the corner of Little Coral Road and Komodo Main Road, Komodo. Telephone contact 643-94104, Majestic Supermarket.
Welcome once again. So we were looking at accident prevention. Tongue has no bones, but it can break bones. Remember these little entertaining sayings, and they're going to help you a lot. Another one is, if you continue to say, I am a dog, I am a dog, I am a dog, you're going to bark one day. These are little things that are very entertaining for the intellect, to understand little methods, how to be able to, because if you don't make life entertaining time and again, I'm not talking about going to a party and all that, the whole of life is an entertainment. We have forgotten that, literally wholesale. Oh, I have to do this and I have to do that. Yes, you have to do them, but the attitude, the approach, the energies you exude, that you put into what you do, it will return to you. So if you put pressure on people, it will not come back as pressure, respected friends. We have too many experts on that. Simple it, keep it simple, add some water in it, maybe put a little bit of something to give it some taste. It is not easy to determine the activities you have done over a period of time, or today you put somebody in their place, or you did this great charity that you are going to benefit now. No, especially charity, you are having expectations. No, if you have to do something like charity, do it with good wishes, punto final, stop right here, and that's it. If you have to talk about, well, I helped this family and I did this and I did that, what you are doing, we say in Trinidad here, you are putting gravel in your own rice. Some of us are good at that. You know, you have to guff up a little bit and say, you know, I did this and I did that. In Hindi, the word I is main. So when you put the little Trini joke into it, main, you become a goat. These are popular things that we need to stop doing. When you have this aspect of contentment, contentment is a virtue of the soul. When there is contentment, naturally over a period of time, your perception level, your decision making level becomes strong, particularly against this number one enemy of the soul, that is called greed. Greedy people are never content. Why? Are they bad people? No, 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 no. Their infection is bad. And usually that type of infection, don't get me wrong here, it takes you to your grave. Yes. So what legacy are you carrying back? When you hear people say, oh, he has gone to God and he's gone to this Lord and so, what legacy and what report, what written report in the intellect of the soul are you carrying to God? This is something to think about. The times we are living in, respected friends, are times of great change. And we must have this initiative within us to be able to deliver something with our lives. Oh, I have to make this for my child and this. No, no, no. You have to go beyond that. Give the child the initiatives that you, out of your experience, create the condition and let them grow. Or else you are doing a disservice for the spiritual development of that child. Please don't misunderstand this. We need to grow the people around us, not hand out because it's my child. Well, hello, it's God's child first. The body that you created, you can say, I helped create that body. But the soul, the energy that speaks to that body, who you call your child, is not your child, was never your child. The karmic account of the past landed that soul within your marriage. This kind of spiritual maturity is needed now to be able to reduce, and the reduction process of reducing waste in the world, waste talk, wasteful behavior, wasteful activities, wasteful attitude, and of course literal waste which you see, which becomes putrefied. When we begin to practice a little godly remembrance, soul is light, God is light, that's it. God is eternal Father, He is Supreme Father. The praise of the human soul is not the praise of God. But the child can become like, meaning similar to its parent. So when we learn to spend time and keep the production line of the mind thoughts in order, so that the ones that are selected, you press select, the intellect can do that, and you carry out that one, there is benevolence in it, there is good wishes, there is a genuine sense of charity. The best charity you can give is feelings of blessings, feelings of contentment. Giving food and building house and all of those things are good, but they are the starting blocks. Before you leave your body, ensure you learn the art of donating spiritual goodwill to others. You want to meet God? Qualify yourself. And you should meet Him whilst you are in the body. There is much more to that. But you should become a student respectfully if you want of the Brahma Kumaris, and you learn a lot more. It's a university. It's a place where you go study, learn, and you are encouraged a lot to practice and refine the soul. So going back to our good friend contentment, when there is greed for property, greed for money, greed for position, all kinds of wealth, greed for motor car, all of those things, you can have the best car. You can have 3 Mercedes-Benz and 2 Rolls-Royce. But there should not be any greed. No. Because with that greed comes pride. And with that pride, the old saying, pride goes before a fall. And that fall takes place while the soul is in the body, not when you have left. So it's important to understand that you have to give people space. Yes. If you have accumulated wealth, property and all of that, and you are not giving others space, and in the process you are mashing up other people, look back and see what you have done with other people. And if the things you have done did not empower them, I'm not talking about giving them money. That is not the best of habits. Think about what I am saying here, respected friends. Allow people to use again their intellect to generate their income. When they do that, the vibrations of self-managing leadership will spread. To be able to do that, we must practice it. And when we practice such type of initiatives based on today's topic, contentment, greed and desire for this and desire for that. I learned this statement from someone. If you have too much ichha, you wouldn't be acha. Ichha means desire and acha means okay, good. So good rhyming of words. These little reminders are entertaining things when you are home and you're chilling out or doing your jobs. When you have this kind of humorous type of examples within your system, it helps you to be able to ward off the infections that attack the soul. Time and again you may hear me mention the entropy law. That is the law of decline. To make a connection That is what is called devil or Ravan. This has to be churned to really grasp it and put it into your bloodstream. To be able to stop the decline, morally, physically, environmentally, all the things that go with it, we have to be able to put a full stop. And meditation, as taught by this institution, helps you to be able to create that initiative of slowing down, to be able to put a full stop, so that the proliferation of waste, negativity, greed, attachment, false ego, lust, anger, they are beginning to become under control and eventually dispatched. That is why this great festival of Hinduism, Ram Leela, there's so much you can learn out of the burning of that being called Ravan. It's really the negative propensities that has to be burned, and physical fire cannot do that. But it is such a great example and celebrated so much worldwide. We should spend some time and learn to go beneath and understand what is the spiritual significance of that. So in terms of time, we have reached that point where we have to do a meditation experience to close this program today. So going back a little into contentment, two aspects are important. One is the ability to be ever ready. Don't run away from situations. And in order to be ever ready, we have to learn to go within, to withdraw from the details. That is early morning meditation. Meditation is a tonic for the soul. Meditation can be likened to a spiritual B12 injection. And when this is done regularly, negative propensities, parasites that has taken up shop within the soul, they begin to die and eventually they will go. So when you take exit from your body, you will be able to have that gift to take to the Supreme according to the many things you hear at a funeral ceremony. So keep that in mind and be able to refine your life with the value of contentment. So let us sit up comfortably. Body is relaxed. Shoulders drop slightly. Face is very cool and peaceful. And become aware of that beautiful eternal light energy, God's child, residing in the middle of your forehead. In 1 second, connect upstairs, way beyond this world, and be in the company the silent company of the Purifier himself, the ever-loving, merciful, benevolent ocean of love. Bathe in God's light. And naturally develop closeness to the Supreme and become an ambassador of peace through your attitude, through your words, through your activities. In deep in deep silence, bathe in God's light and become a mirror and show this light to the world in pure silence. See the earth, see the resilience of the earth, and send godly love to them. Om Shanti. Thank you very much.
Shop at Majestic Supermarket for kind and courteous service. In addition to your grocery list, we also stock perfume and gift sets, household items, over-the-counter drugs, pet food and accessories, footwear, mini hardware items and much more. It's a one-stop shop. We accept TT cards, links and credit card. Visit us at the corner of Little Kora Road and Komoto Main Road, Komoto. Telephone contact 643-94104, Majestic Supermarket.